Hi, I'm Dan, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use Blueprint or use Blueprint scripting from classes that you've created to contact the built-in classes that are part of Unreal. So you probably know that these things exist. The GameInstance class, the GameState class, the HUD class, and things like that. So the setup I've got here is a third-person template, and I've created some content. I've created a game instance, which is inherited from the game instance. So I've just called everything Dan game instance, Dan game state. I've got a Dan HUD, a Dan player controller, and a Dan player state class that I've created. And in each of these, I've put a custom event which is just linked to a message, a print string message that says hello from whatever kind of thing it is. So each of those has got one of those in. In addition to that, I've also got, there is, in this third-person template, it has already overwritten the third-person character and the third-person game mode, and I've added similar incoming message custom events to those classes, so to the third-person character and to the third-person game mode. And then in the settings, project settings, so this is where you set these things, if you didn't know. I have got plugged in the third-person game mode, as per normal, the third-person character. I've put in the Dan HUD, the Dan player character, the Dan game state, and the Dan player state. There's another one here, which is the spectator class, in which you can plug in a spectator pawn. This one's new to me, and I did some playing with this, and I couldn't get it to work. So I think the issue here is that you don't actually have a spectator class until you make one happen. And this is, as I say, it's a new functionality to me. So I'm just going to not show you that because I don't know how to do it. Finally, down the bottom here, there's the game instance class, and I've plugged in my Dan game instance. So all of these classes are active and should be there. And the plan is to show you how to use scripts in your Blueprint classes to access functionality in those classes, which is what those message things are about. The other thing that I've done is I've created these switches here. So, wrong place, into my content. So I created a simple switch, and I've duplicated it several different times. They're actually all the same, but I have separate scripts for them, and the words that are on them that you can see are separate, which will just help me work out which one to do at a time. So I've got these are the switches that I'm going to use to communicate with the game state and the player character and things like that. And each one of these is just very simply set up. Let's open the game instance one. So all there is in here is, in the viewport, there's the text telling me which one it is, so I know which one I'm expecting to be. There's a footplate, which is kind of acting as a footplate switch, and there's a collision box in there, which is going to detect when the player steps onto the footplate switch. Okay. So seeing as we've got this one, we'll start with this one, and we'll go into the event graph. And all it is using the event begin overlap. And we know that the only thing that's moving around in the scene is the player, so we know it's going to happen when the player stands on the switch. And I'll pull that there. I don't need that just yet. So I'll get game instance. Okay. Well, this is fairly straightforward, to be honest. Just move that out of the way. The thing we need to do with the game instance is that if I try and type in incoming message, it doesn't recognize it. And the reason for that is because it's at the moment getting the superclass, which is the game instance class, Now, the game instance that we've got is actually an instance of the down game instance. So what we need to do is to cast it. So we cast it to the down game instance, which means it will attempt to turn it into that particular thing, or to see it as that particular thing. And if it fails, then execution comes out this way, but it will succeed. I know because we have plugged in the damn game instance. So as the damn game instance, we can then should be able to call the incoming message. And there it is, it appears. So that's pretty straightforward, and we'll just see if we can see that in action. So let's hit that, and that's the first button here. So when I stand on it, it should give the message, hello from game instance. And as predicted, it does. So all of these are different. I've only plugged the first one in so far. I'm going to go through all 7 of these. I hope you'll bear with me on this. Right, so I put them in the order that I want to do them. So the game instance is first, then the game mode. So down here, game mode, I'm looking for BP mode switch. So in here, we're going to get game mode. Now this is one of the ones that was already built in to the third person template. So I'm going to cast to third person game mode, and I put my functionality in there. And once again, it's just the incoming message. I'll that and close it. I'm not going to test in between each one. I'm just going to do all of them one after another. GameState. GameState switch. Get GameState. And cast to down GameState. Incoming message. Should be getting used to this by now. The reason why I'm doing all of them is because they're not all the same. So far they have been. I've been deliberately doing the easier ones to start off with. PlayerController. Okay. So BP PlayerController switch. Get PlayerController. Be careful here because there's also the player pawn and the player character. So get PlayerController, and that's cast to down PlayerController. There we go. Incoming message. I'll close. Next one's the HUD. So this is the first of the trickier ones. HUD switch. There we go. So if I try and type in get HUD, it doesn't appear. And the reason for that is because the HUD is directly linked to the player controller. So what I need to do is I have to actually get the player controller first. Get player controller, and then from there I can do get HUD, and it's appeared now. Take that out of the way. And once again, because I've overridden it, I need to cast to down HUD. Incoming message. I've deliberately called all those custom events the same so that I can remember what I'm doing. HUD, player pawn. Right, player controller, player pawn switch. PAWN. Okay. Get player pawn. What actually got to do? Get player character. Cast to down. Oh, it's the third person character, one of the built-in ones. More direct than getting the pawn. And there's an incoming message. And finally, the PlayerState. This is a relatively new addition to Unreal. And so we'll get the PlayerState switch. There we go. And once again, it's one that you can't access directly. Get PlayerState doesn't exist. So we need the player character in this case. Now we don't need to cast that one, but we can from there get PlayerState. Okay. And we do need to cast for this. Cast to down PlayerState. And incoming message. So, of course, these messages are completely pointless. This is just to show you the communication. What you would actually be wanting to do is some kind of functionality, depending on how you're using these particular built-in classes. And I don't want to talk at this point about the recommended usage of these. I just want to show you how to communicate between the two. So we're going to go over all these, and hopefully in order, we're going to get the messages. GameInstance, yes. GameMode, yes. GameState, yes. PlayerController, yes. HUD, yes. PlayerPawn, I've got a little spelling mistake in there, but fine. And PlayerState, hello from PlayerState. And there we go. So that shows you how you can contact these inbuilt essential classes from your Blueprint classes. And that's it from me for now.